I know that I'm supposed to do some crazy hook and tell you why you should watch this video till the end and all of this stuff in between, but to be honest with you, I'm really bad at marketing and all of that stuff there. But I'll tell you one thing I'm not bad at, and that is changing lives and giving you guys more value than you see anywhere else. So I guess just watch this video. It's gonna be really powerful. In this video right now, I'm sharing with you the power of a vision. This is probably the number one thing that I share with my clients and that I've shared with the thousands of entrepreneurs I've coached over these past few years. And I would say the foundation of how I help my clients literally scale their business, make a lot more money, and have generated them millions of dollars, and myself. So yeah, lock in. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. There's a lot of value in here. I can promise you right now, the information in here is information you've not heard anywhere else. Like, I promise you that right now. So yeah, lock in, enjoy. And also, if you're an entrepreneur and you are trying to scale your business and you wanna take it to the next level, I promise you as well, it's gonna be your mindset. And I'm hosting a free masterclass where I'm gonna break this all down in massive detail, how you can use the power of your mind to make a lot more money and scale your business. And I've also got a very special announcement in this as well. So information about that will be in the link below. Click the link, sign up. I'll see you there. It's going to be incredible. And other than that, have a blessed day. Enjoy this video. And yeah, this is part one of a 3-part series I'm dropping on this channel. So we've got 2 more videos coming up. This one is about the what, like vision, what you're trying to build. Then we're going to be doing one on who, which is identity. And then the last one is going to be about understanding your true motivation, tapping into your reasons why. So yeah. Pay attention, lock in. I really believe this is going to be the most valuable video you watch in your business. If you just watch for a few minutes, you will understand why. And yeah, I will see you inside the video. God bless. I can promise you right now, the information I'm about to share with you inside this one video alone is going to make you a lot more money. It's going to allow you to grow your business and it's going to transform your life. Just lock in. Pay attention for 2 or 3 minutes and you will know that what I'm saying to you right now is the truth. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is the power of having a vision, the power of truly understanding what it is that you want. I've been coaching entrepreneurs now for the past 5 years on mindset specifically. I've been hired by some of the biggest names in this space, 6, 7, 8-figure companies. And I've been doing this for over 10,000 hours. I have a deep understanding of how entrepreneurs can use their mind to make a lot more money. I've got incredible case studies. I've helped people go from 0 to 10K all the way up to $1 million. And I'm going to reveal all of that in this video. This is part of a 3-part video series. This is video number 1, and we have 2 more videos coming up. So lock in. It's going to change your life. I guarantee you that right now. Also, I'm hosting a free masterclass coming up very soon. Hit the link in the top of this video or in the comments to sign up for that. And I've got a very, very big announcement inside of there as well. So let's dive into this. Clarity or vision in your business is the foundation. When I've spoke to these thousands of entrepreneurs over my time, I always ask people, what do you want? And 99% of the time, they tell me what they don't want. They subconsciously are focused on what they don't want, so they keep creating more of that in their life. And one of my favorite Bible verses is, where there is no vision, the people perish. So, like I said, without realizing it, they are impressing it into their subconscious mind exactly what they don't want, right? And they start to move towards that at a subconscious level, because where focus goes, energy flows. So if your mind is focused on something that you do not want, yeah, you're still going to move towards that. It really just comes down to, where is your focus? Where are you thinking? But if you have not taken the time to create a vision of what the business looks like, how your lifestyle would be, you are going to create something that you didn't consciously choose. Whatever you impress into your subconscious mind will be expressed into your reality. Okay, so whatever you impress into your subconscious mind will be expressed into your reality. Your subconscious doesn't judge, it doesn't filter, it simply executes on whatever you have installed into your mind. Okay? Now, you can achieve your goals and still be unsuccessful. I was once speaking to this entrepreneur who was making $50,000 a month. He had his dream car, but he was burned out working 12-hour days. And he had no time to enjoy what he built, right? And one of the main reasons he started his business, he wanted to get a girlfriend. But in the pursuit of growing his business, he got overweight, he lost his confidence, and stopped approaching girls completely. So he had a vision. This is the point I'm trying to make to you right now. He had a vision. It just wasn't the one he truly wanted. And everyone has a vision. The question is, did you consciously choose it? So if I speak to you right now and I ask you and I say, look, the life you're living and the business you have built, is it something that you truly want? Or is it this prison that you've created for yourself? Again, for myself, the life I live, the business I built is exactly what I wanted because I took the time to think about what I actually wanted. When I first started off on my entrepreneur journey, I started off running a marketing agency. And my goal at the time, my vision at the time was I wanted to make money online and travel the world. So guess what happened? I was able to attain this success. I went ahead, I moved out to Amsterdam, I was making money online, but here was the problem. I was only making $10,000 a month online. I was working 12-hour days with clients and people I didn't like, and I was burned out. And it was in that moment where I realized that, and this is the epiphany moment for you right now, I created what was in my mind. If I look back to the thing that I created, that is what I was visualizing in my mind. That is what I was seeing in my mind, and that is what played out in my reality. So for you watching this right now, I'll question you. The life you're living, the business that you run, okay, is it truly one that you want? Is it having the success that you want? Are you able to live a life you want of freedom, abundance, and true success? Or are you living a life that, again, you kind of built a prison around? You're working insane amount of hours, you don't make the kind of money you want, or whatever else in between. Even for the bigger entrepreneurs that watch this video, let's say you have a sales team, right? And they're not performing the way you want, okay? Or maybe you have the business, it's not operating the way you want. Just question, is the reality that's playing out in my life, is it in correlation to how I'm thinking about it? And you will quickly understand and realize the answer is yes. Your reality as you see it, the external world that's playing out, is a direct reflection of how you have been thinking about it. The external world is a mirror to your thoughts. Your thoughts and how you think about things create emotions, right? What are thoughts? Energy. Emotions are energy and motion. That creates motion, which is action and attraction. Let me break that down for you. The way you're thinking about stuff will determine how you feel about that. And how you feel about that will determine what kind of action that you take. So if you have thoughts that are limited, for example, I can only make X amount per month online, or this is how business needs to be. I need to struggle, I need to push, I need to grind, I don't have free time. That's going to make you feel based on the way you're thinking about it, which will drive an action. And the other thing about the mind is it always wants to prove you right. So if you are believing that you have to work 12-hour days to grow your business, that will play out to be true. But if you think that you can have a life of freedom, okay, you can build a business that allows you to live a life that you truly want, that will play out to be true as well. The question is, what are you seeing in your mind first? So, let's continue. Now, before anything else, get clear on this. What do you want to believe about business? Okay? What do you want to believe about money? About your life? About who you are as you build it? Because whatever you choose and install into your mind will become your reality. So you have to question your beliefs, guys. You have to question your beliefs, and then from that, start to change them to the one you want. Again, I'm going to be just sharing with you a lot of information on here. If you want to know more about how to actually apply this, then sign up for the free training below. I'm going to break this all down on there. Now, this applies to your team as well. Imagine you're running a sales team, and your sales team have limiting beliefs. Your sales team have a weak vision. Your sales team don't truly know what they want. They are not going to go ahead and close deals in the same way as if they were to have a clear vision of who they want to be and what they want in their life. So especially if you're running a team, you need to ensure that your team are clear, not just on the business vision, but the vision for their life and what they want to achieve. Otherwise, they're just going to go, oh yeah, man, I'll try to close this deal today. But if they had a vision that compelled them, that excited them, they're going to operate very differently. So, a clear vision gives your life clarity, focus, direction, and purpose, and it acts as a blueprint for the person you are becoming and the life you are building. Where focus goes, energy flows. Your subconscious mind doesn't move towards words, it moves towards feelings and images. This is such a huge lesson. Your mind understands images and feelings. Here is a question for you. When you think about your goal, how does it make you feel? Even as I say that, you can see my face starts to smile, right? Why is that? Because I link so much pleasure to my goals. So there's a specific goal I have in my mind right now with my business, and I instantly link pleasure to it. And the associations surrounding that are in alignment with my conscious mind and my subconscious mind. The biggest mistake entrepreneurs make is they have these conscious goals and desires and dreams, but in their subconscious mind there is resistance, there is friction, because at a subconscious level, for example, they may have this goal in their mind, but at a subconscious level they link it to stress, they link it to more work, they link it to doubt, ultimately they link it to fear. Understanding that whatever your mind associates with pain, it will avoid. It will move away from it. So if you have not programmed your subconscious mind to associate this thing that you want with pleasure, you will do one of two things. Either you will avoid moving towards the goal because there is pain associated with it, or two, is you will force and push and grind your way towards your goal because you feel like you need to, and then you'll be struggling. But if you look at the universe, right, it operates in the law of least effort. As a human, your goal for the brain, for the mind, it wants to conserve energy, guys. So anytime you're going towards a goal and there is friction and resistance, it's trying to tell you there is a more effortless way. There is a simpler way in which you can achieve your goal. And the answer to that, if you can relate to what I'm saying right now, is nothing more than aligning the subconscious mind with the conscious mind. It is that simple. How many entrepreneurs I know who make $100,000 a month, $1 million a month, but they're burned out, they're stressed out, they're worried all the time, they operate from fear. And it's as simple as you are choosing to believe that. It's as simple as that. This isn't to say that you can't make the $1 million a month, right? Have goals. But for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? You can achieve your goal of $1 million a month and do it in a way where it's enjoyable. You have freedom. You build a life that you actually enjoy. It's just a choice that you make, and I'll prove it to you right now. Whatever you are believing, where did you learn that belief from? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about the belief of, where did I actually learn that belief? And do you know other entrepreneurs who make a lot more money than you, right? And they're not doing half the work you do, or putting in hardly any of the effort you're putting in. I know, for example, myself, the numbers we've hit in our business, the way in which we attain them is effortless in comparison to the other entrepreneurs who I speak to, who work insane amount of hours. They're trying so hard, they're pushing, they're grinding, they're forcing, but they're doing it as if their foot is on the brake. It's like they're driving a car but their foot's on the brake. because myself or my clients, because I teach them how to align their conscious mind with their subconscious mind, which creates congruency between the two, you flow towards your goals. Think about times in your business where things seem to be effortless. You're attracting opportunities. Deals are closing with ease. Everything is a flow, right? That is the natural state you should be operating from. So your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism, and it will literally guide you to whatever direction you give it. When you define your vision clearly and emotionally, you are giving your inner guidance system a target to lock onto. Quite simply, your mind, if you give it a goal and a target and a vision, it will move towards it. So the question is, what are you visualizing? What is your target? And again, guys, I'm going to be getting onto this. Just lock in, because the amount of value in here is insane. There's so many epiphany moments you're going to have in here that you have never thought about. And I can promise you now, it's going to be the answer to so many of the problems you have in your business. I can guarantee you that right now. So every thought, decision, and behavior after that becomes course correction towards the outcome automatically. This is the biggest point I want to make to you right now through this section, right? It will automatically take you towards the goal. So if you keep finding yourself hitting a roadblock and not getting to where you want to go to in your business, you've just programmed your mind to do that. It's that simple. You don't just need to work harder. You need to align your mind with your vision, goals, and your dreams. This is the biggest thing. You have to align them both. So let's break this down with this diagram here, yeah? Let me zoom it out a bit. Okay, so unconscious vision, right, which is 99% of entrepreneurs. They just have a vision, unconsciously, they haven't really thought about what they want, so they have a default belief, such as business is hard and stressful, okay? They then feel stressed, in a state of anxiety, survival mode, and fear. They then have destructive behaviors, procrastination, grinding, or burning out. They get a painful result, right? Burnout, complexity, they get stuck. The reality confirms the belief. See, I knew it was hard. And then they're burned out, they're overworked. The goal might be achieved, but life is unlived and unfulfilled, right? So the point I want to make to you guys is you can still have business success, right? You can still make a lot of money. But for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Didn't you set up your business to have fun? Didn't you build your business to have freedom? Didn't you build your business so that you could live life? So if you go ahead and you're just like, well, this is just how life is, this is how business needs to be, yeah, that will play out to be true. But you take someone like myself, for example. I just, for my birthday, went on a road trip with my dad around California, and I was still able to grow my business and make a lot of money. And to be honest with you, I didn't work at all on that trip. But we still had days in our business that were, to most people, what they would dream of making in a month. And the only difference between myself and these other people is I have aligned my conscious mind with my subconscious mind. And I know when I say that, it might sound a bit out there or whatever it is, but as you continue to watch this video, you will understand more and what I mean. Now we take a conscious vision, okay, a chosen belief. I build with simplicity and ease. Then you operate from a state of calmness, clarity, confidence. Your behaviors will align with that. So you will start to build systems, you will delegate, you will grow the business. You will then operate from a powerful result, more freedom, more momentum, more wealth, and reality will confirm that belief too. Business flows with ease. See, I told you, you was right. Now, your mind will prove you right either way. Your mind will prove you right either way. Whatever you believe to be true will play out. Just look at the life you're living right now and look at the vision you hold to be true. Look at the way you think about business. Look at the way you think about life. Are they in correlation to each other? You will quickly realize the answer is yes. I don't care if you're making $500,000 a month, yeah? If you wake up at 12 in the afternoon after snoozing your alarm and you feel unhappy and you feel sad, you lost. You lost. You've become a slave to your business. You're just somebody now who has more money, but you as an individual are unfulfilled. And we're going to get into this in the next chapter about identity. But this is what I'm saying to you. If you could have a choice to live a life of fulfillment, joy, peace, happiness, where you're in great shape, you have a great lifestyle, you have freedom, versus you make a lot of money but you're burned out and stressed out. You don't really like yourself, you have bad habits, you feel like shit most of the time. Which one would you choose? The only difference is you don't know how to choose. Otherwise, you would. There has been 0 entrepreneurs that I have met who told me they hit their financial target, whether it be $100,000 a month or $1 million a month, and it actually changed them. One of my quotes is, money will change your life, but it won't change you. But what do most entrepreneurs do? They just chase money. That's why one of the key focuses with my clients is to help you become a better version of you, and then as a byproduct, your business will naturally grow. Again, if you don't want to improve yourself, like Jim Rohn said, if you work hard at your job or your business, you'll make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. I don't care where you are at with your business, right? You are leaving so much money on the table, so much happiness, peace, joy on the table by not working on yourself. You just became a prisoner in your business. You have to realize that you are the one creating the results. And a business can never outperform the entrepreneur running it. So if you are making $1 million a month right now, or $500,000 a month right now, you know there's another level, right? But that resistance you feel, it's not a tactic, it's not a strategy. It's nothing more than an internal block. And once you begin to work with the internal, and the first step is having a vision, then everything will begin to shift. All right, and like I said, in the next video, we're going to be diving deep into the identity aspect of this, because identity is such a critical component in your success. You can never outperform the entrepreneur running it, right? Also, if you want to know more in depth about these concepts, make sure you sign up to the free training. The link is in the description. There's going to be limited spaces and it will fill up fast. So let's do a summary of this chapter we've just gone through, this part of the module here, right? Clarity or vision is the foundation. Most entrepreneurs have a vision, they just didn't consciously choose it. Without intention, your subconscious defaults to programming itself with what you fear and what you do not want. All right? So again, you have a vision. The question is it one you actually want? Or are you just building this business now out of force? I need to do this. I have to grind. And you're just operating from an outdated paradigm. 100%. Your subconscious mind doesn't judge, it just executes. Whatever you impress into it will be expressed in your reality. Whatever you impress into it will be expressed into your reality. It simply builds a world that matches what's being installed. You can achieve your goals and still be unsuccessful. Hitting targets with a true vision means winning externally and losing everything that actually matters: time, health, relationships, and fulfillment. This is another point I have to address again. You can achieve financial success and grow your business. But if you go ahead and do it, and you're just thinking about business and money, and you neglect other areas of your life, did you truly win? Did you truly win? Or did you just sell your soul and your peace and your joy and your happiness for bits of paper? And this is what I see with so many entrepreneurs, right? This is the biggest thing I see. Entrepreneurs, they go after their business goals, okay? And as they go after their business goals, they are obsessed with money. It's just like, I need to make more money, I need to make more money. And they hit their first milestone, 100K a month, whatever it might be. And once they hit that goal, they quickly realize that the money didn't bring them the feeling they thought it would bring them. So one of two things happens. One is they keep on pushing and grinding and forcing, okay, and they buy more things, they get the nice apartment, they get the nice car, the nice watch, or whatever else, but they still feel unfulfilled, they still feel sad, and eventually it comes crashing down, because if you build on shaky foundations and weak foundations, what's going to happen? Or the second thing is, right, they just slow down altogether and they start to sabotage their results. They start to slow down and go back on themselves. Either way, you're losing, right? the paradigm shift you need to have is you need to stop thinking about attaining the outcome and chasing the outcome, and instead you need to think about the process and enjoying the game that you're playing. And this again is linked to a clear vision. If you are chasing money and you realize money is not fulfilling you, again, I know so many entrepreneurs, it seems to be every single entrepreneur I speak to, they're like, yeah, I hit my goal, but it didn't change me. And then what it does is that success mirrors back to them how they already feel. But you still want to make more money, don't you? You still want to grow your business, of course. But you're in this like crossroad where you're thinking, okay, cool, I want to make more money. But at a weird subconscious level, you have linked more pain to making more money. So you either slow down or you continue to force and burn yourself out in the pursuit of money. Does that make sense? So as we continue, everyone has a vision. The question is, did you choose it? All right, the 50K entrepreneur who had a vision, it just wasn't the one he wanted. I know for a fact, if he chose to, and said, I'm going to build my business and get jacked and stay healthy and fit and in shape, right, and have freedom, that same vision would play out because his old vision played out. And let's just be honest here, guys. Is it that he didn't have the time to train and get in shape? No. Is it that he didn't have the time to build a team and have freedom and systemize the business? No. But his belief played out in reality. Whatever you believe to be true will be true. So the question is, what are you believing? Just again, observe your beliefs that you hold on to. Just question your beliefs and look at your reality and how it plays out. It will be in direct correlation to the way you think about it. Okay? The other big lesson here is vision must be felt, not just thought about. Your subconscious mind doesn't move towards words, it moves towards images and feelings. Intellectual clarity isn't enough, it has to be emotionally real. So when you're thinking about a goal, again, if you say you want to hit a certain milestone, just sit with yourself, think about your goal. I can almost guarantee for most of you, when you think about a milestone you're trying to hit, whether it's a 100K month or $1 million month or something like that, what emotion does that evoke within you? Or is it just this number you plucked out of thin air? And it doesn't really drive you emotionally. And now you wonder why you don't move towards it. It's because there is no emotion driving it. One of my quotes is, if your goal or if your vision does not move you emotionally, it will not move you physically. Let me repeat that. If your vision does not move you emotionally, it won't move you physically. So you can have the biggest goals, you can have these biggest dreams, but if you sit there and you don't feel it in your body, it doesn't excite you. The mission doesn't excite you, the vision doesn't excite you. Why would you move towards it? Because at a subconscious level, you're going to be linking pain to it. And if you're just thinking of a number and you're like, I want to make more money, but in the back of your mind, you're like, more money won't change how I feel. More money's not really going to change my life. I've already got everything I want. You're not going to move towards it. This is where the friction comes from. Because you want to make more money, but you haven't identified clearly why you want to make more money. And you don't have a compelling vision that excites you, that creates a strong emotion within you, so you're drawn to that. Humans will move away from pain and towards pleasure, very simply put. So if your vision is more painful than your current reality, you will stay where you are. If you switch them on their head and there's more pleasure to going where you are and more pain to where you are, you move towards that. It's very simple. A vision has to be emotionally captivating. Again, how you think determines how you feel. Think about that. Your thoughts have to create images in the mind that evoke a feeling, emotion, which is energy in motion, which creates motion, which will attract and get you to act in the physical reality. So if at the beginning your thoughts are not in alignment and you're not truly thinking about what you actually want, you ain't gonna move towards it, are you? If you're thinking about a goal and when you close your eyes and you visualize, see, I can't even not think about smiling when I do it. That's how much I program into my mind these visions and these goals I'm stepping into. So the thought that I have drives an emotion which creates motion. Most entrepreneurs, they have a thought, then their feeling is, oh, I have to do it, man. Or they're thinking fearful. They're thinking doubts. They're thinking worry. And it's like, if you're thinking like that, you're not tapping into your full potential. You're not tapping in to your greatness. Because fear is never going to be as powerful as love. As we continue, A clear vision aligns your entire system. When vision is defined and felt, your mind becomes a guided mechanism. Every thought, decision, and behavior auto-corrects towards the outcome automatically. Like we mentioned, your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. Okay? When you impress into your mind specific goals, specific visions, and you align that with your subconscious mind so you can see it playing out, you can experience it playing out, you're going to move towards it. You're going to gravitate towards that reality, and it's going to gravitate towards you. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. How you do it is a collection of how you think about it and how you feel about it. Then, from that energy, when you direct that energy outwards into the universe, okay, that is going to command it to bend to your will. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. Energy can be bent and molded. So as you put this thought out and you mix that with feelings, emotions, it's going to drive different actions. Let me just ask you this, right? If you think about your goal right now, think about a goal you have, 100K month, $1 million month, right? Cool. Think about that number. Now, think about flying private jet with your team as you go to Marbella, celebrating $1 million month, and all of you are there smiling, happy, grateful, and just winning. Which one evokes more emotion? Of course, the second one. What changed? The way you was thinking about the goal, which was the emotion, which was created by an image in your mind. So everything begins with the thoughts, but the thoughts have to be created in a way that evokes emotion. The association in the subconscious mind has to be connected. Again, if you just think about this, right? $1 million month. And you're like, oh man, more work, more hours, more time invested. And you're like, I don't want that though, I want freedom. Yeah, then you're not going to move towards it. But if you believe that you can create your reality, let me ask you, do you believe that? Do you believe you can create your own reality? Well, create your reality. Create your reality. Write down a vision that excites you, that's compelling. I operate a business that is simple, streamlined, and systemized, that allows me to make X amount of money per month. This allows me to live a life of freedom, excitement, joy, peace, and love. I wake up every day excited to grow my business. I love my business. I love challenges. I love when it gets hard because this means growth is occurring in my business. Opportunities always flow to me. I see the opportunities out there all the time. My team are savages. My team are winners. We win. We always win because we're winners, so we win. This is what I'm talking about. But most people's vision is so bland and boring. No wonder they don't get the result they want, or no wonder in the pursuit of the goal, they don't even want to move towards it. And they live in struggle and fear and pushing and grinding. You understand what I'm saying? And you know it's the truth. So now we're going to talk about creating the reality. Okay? Creating the vision. Like I said, I'm a philosopher out here, guys, yeah? If your vision does not move you emotionally, it will not move you physically. When it comes to creating your vision, you need two components. Two components. You need the emotional aspect of it, and you need the logical aspect of it, right? Most entrepreneurs, they have a logical reason. The goals and the plans. Again, they haven't emotionally thought about what they want. One of my favorite quotes is by Vincent van Gogh, and he said, "First, I dream the painting, and then I paint the dream." First, I dream the painting, then I paint the dream. This is what I'm talking about. You have to evoke the vision first, the emotional aspect first, then you set the goal. This is another concept that I came up with, and I'm saying this because I have been doing this for so many years now. So many of these things I share with you, they weren't obtained from a book. It was obtained from wisdom of coaching thousands of people for thousands of hours.
And what I observed is everyone has a goal. Everyone seems to have a goal, but no one has a vision. And if you don't have a clear vision, right, what are you actually moving towards? And I share a story in a moment here, right, with one of my clients. And he asked me, John, is this goal big enough? And I said, well, what's your vision? He was like, well, I want to move to Dubai. I want to get a penthouse and drive a G-Wagon. And the goal he set made that vision almost impossible. So what people do is they set a goal from a limited place and then they get limited results. This is what I'm saying to you. And again, I tell people all the time, mindset's the key. They're like, nah, it's not. I'll get to my mindset when I achieve my goal. Not realizing that in the pursuit of the goal, you're limiting yourself. It blows my mind. Like, you are limiting yourself by not starting with your mind. Your mind is the foundation of your business. It's the foundation. Because you are operating from an old paradigm. So your current version of you is going to set goals based on how you currently view the world and how you currently view things. So you're going to limit yourself. But if you just take a step back and you think, what do I actually want? And you start to use the power of imagination. You start to dream bigger. You start to step into this reality that you know is for you. You experience that, you feel that, you see that. Would you set different goals? Would you think bigger? Would you take more action? Would you make more money? Well, I think the answer to those questions is obviously yes. So why are you starting off with a limited way of thinking? These guys, they're like, oh, this is my financial goal. Yeah, but you're creating that out of a limited paradigm. Your thinking is small. Your thinking is in a construct of your mind that is based off of a paradigm you've probably learned from somebody that maybe you don't even want to be there. So you're thinking, yeah, this is a good number. You know, people will say online, I see it all the time on Instagram stories, for example. People are like, yeah, I'm gonna get to this level. I'm gonna get to the next level. Well, what do you define as the next level? What is the next level for you? This is why, again, I see my clients and myself just completely obliterating people in the space because we think bigger, and it's that simple. It is that simple. People, they're trying to get into a reality, but they can't even see it in their mind, so you could never conceive it. So if you can't conceive it, you will never achieve it. Because at some level, if your mind does not conceive a specific reality, it will potentially see it as dangerous or a threat. And that threat could be as simple as it's going to cost me stress, whatever it might be, whatever the pain might be, you will avoid moving towards it. Simple as that. It is that simple. And if you believe that you create your own reality, let me just ask you, the money you're making right now in your business, yeah, think about it. Did you think it would be harder to get to this level? Did you think it would be more stressful? Did you think it would be a lot more complexity involved? But wasn't it simpler than you thought? Wasn't it easier than you thought? So the question is, well, what do you currently believe? What's your vision about getting to the next level that's stopping you from getting there? Because understanding that the same level of thinking you currently have will not get you to the next level up. And you have to understand as well that you cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created that problem. So if you do not renew your thinking, if you do not upgrade your way of thinking about the reality you're stepping into, you ain't going to step into it. It's that simple. It is that simple. Are you starting to understand now when Jonathan Gabb says mindset is the key, that it's the key? For all of you guys that have slept on my message, welcome. You've just realized that it is the key. So we have the emotional side, we have the logical side. Yeah? The GPS analogy. The right brain sets the destination, where we're going. The left brain creates the route and the how. If you skip the destination, the GPS can't calculate anything, right? And if you never route it, you just stare at the map. So again, let me ask you, what's your vision? Where are you going? Or are you just thinking, oh, we need to make this much this month? You're just thinking one step ahead, man. You're just getting in your car and driving. You're just gonna get lost, aren't you? Think about it. If you just get in a car and drive with no destination, are you gonna get lost? Well, yeah, of course. You don't even know where you're going. You might end up somewhere beautiful. You might end up somewhere not so beautiful. But if you go into the sat nav and you plug in where you want to go, then you just follow the plan. But most entrepreneurs don't do that. And the other thing is this, yeah, because they don't think about stuff, because they don't actually think about how they're going to get there, they undercharge, they work with bad clients, they charge low prices, they think they need to work all these hours, all of these things, because it's a construct of their mind being played out in reality. Then you have someone like me, I swear to you guys, because I constructed it in my mind first, that plays out in my reality. It is that simple. My subconscious is aligned with where I'm going, and I just take the steps to get there, and it's effortless. It's effortless for me. So vision on the right gives direction, strategies the left. Now, there's a pretty smart guy called Nikola Tesla. I construct the machine in my mind, or the invention. I run it. I see where it wears. I make improvements. When I finally build it, there is no difference between the mental model and the physical one. For Nikola Tesla, imagination was a fantasy. It was the real workshop. Physical building was just printing what already existed internally. Another quote by Jonathan Gabb here. Start with the vision, then set the goal. Start with the vision, then set the goal. This is the vision I want. Okay, what goal would make that a reality? Most people start with a goal, don't have a vision, and then they have these constructs in their mind. I have to grind, I have to burn out, I have to force, I have to struggle. It has to be painful. Okay, cool. If that's what you believe, then cool. I believe it's easy. I believe that it's simple. And whatever I believe to be true will play out in reality, even if, quote unquote, it's hard. Because my belief is it's easy, my perception surrounding that will play out. Because if you believe business is hard, let me ask you, what are you comparing it to? What are you comparing it to? What about a guy who works in construction 10-hour days? That's hard for minimum wage. All we have to do is press a few buttons behind a screen, whatever else, and we make hundreds of thousands of dollars. So is it hard or is it easy? Now, if you perceive it as easy, you perceive it as hard, which one makes you want to take more action? It's easy, right? Again, this isn't deluding ourselves. This is what you need to understand. It's not deluding ourselves, it's perception. And we can manage perception. I can say, yeah, business is hard, and I can find reasons why it's hard. I can say business is easy, I can find reasons why it's easy. And if I think it's hard, then I'm going to be resisting it, because our brain wants to avoid pain. But if I'm like, it's easy, even if it means I have to do 10-hour days, I'm like, it's easy, because I'm the sort of guy that loves to do challenging things and level up. That's why it's easy. It's all perception. Whatever you believe to be true will play out in your reality. Beliefs are not true in themselves, they become true in our experience if we believe them. Yeah? So you want to use your right side of your brain to imagine and visualize, and then use your left side to set goals and plans. If one of these is missing, you're not going to tap into your full potential. It's that simple. If you just have goals but you don't have vision, you're going to tap into limited potential. If you just have vision but you don't have goals, you're not going to be able to go after it. They go hand in hand. Yeah? Here's an example of a vision I wrote down that is now my reality. Business is a systemized, simple money printer. I have built them in a way that requires me to put in minimal effort and earn back 100K per month minimum in profit. I just make content, and then my systems, processes, and team operate the rest. It's a well-oiled machine. It runs smoothly and easily. From building this, it allows me to be calm, relaxed, and spend my free time getting closer to God and living the life He has blessed me with. Business is just like going to the gym for me. I check in for 1 to 2 hours and continue my day without giving it any more thought. I will check in just how I check into the gym and eat my meals. It's that simple. Think about this, yeah? Again, what you believe to be true about business will play out. Now, I want to add on here as well. This doesn't mean it's just 1 to 2 hours every day. Like today, we're putting in a lot of work, right? There's a big project going on, everything in between. But these beliefs play out to be true. For example, not long ago when I was on my road trip with my dad, I told you guys we had a huge day in business, right? And it was done when I wasn't working any hours. And I remember when I first became aware of these principles, when I started to step into this, I was in Dubai. And when I was in Dubai, I had a $25,000 day. At that time, that was my biggest day. We've done bigger since then. And it happened in a way that, quite simply, I put up one Instagram story and then it came to me. And it's because I believed it to be true that it played out in reality. Now, the reason I live this life is because I saw it in my mind first and built from there. I know exactly what I want and I know exactly what I do not want. Yeah? Compare this to when I first began my business. I mentioned this earlier, right? I was running a business and I got what I wanted, but it wasn't what I truly wanted. It was based off a limited way of thinking. It was based off a limited vision. So although I got what I wanted, my mind, when I thought about my vision, what was the mental images created in my mind, what I was imagining was $10,000 a month, but I need to grind for it. I need to work with bad clients. Now I love my business. I'm excited to work. I've been up since 6 today working. It's now 12:30. I am loving this. What changed? A decision of what it is that I want. Do you understand? It is all beginning with the way that you think about stuff. And the thoughts you have, you learned them. You didn't come into this world thinking, my business will be like this and whatever else. You've learned it over time and how you built this mental prison in your mind. Okay? It's a decision that you make. Vincent van Gogh, like I said earlier, first I dream the painting, then I paint the dream. Bars. Once you have created a clear vision for how you want your business to be and the lifestyle you will be living, then you can set specific goals to make that a reality. Vision first, goal second. So, I'm not going to dive too deep into this right now, but here is how you set goals, right? They have to be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I'm not going to get into this right now. I'll probably make a separate video on this, but once you have a clear vision of what it is you want, and the vision has to excite you, it has to be compelling, it has to really get you in that state, then you set a SMART goal that will allow you to achieve that. Okay? Vision first, goal second, plan third. If the vision to travel the world freely in luxury first class, staying in 5-star hotels, investing in stocks, and the goal of $10,000 will not make sense, would it? Okay? But in the same way, if your goal is to live a simple life with a small team and locate yourself in Thailand, then a goal of $10,000 could make sense. The question is, what do you truly want? Again, most people, the reason why they're in this friction phase of their business is because they don't have clarity of what they want. So they hear one person say one thing, they hear another person say another thing, they're just in conflict. You have to eliminate, you have to remove the energy leaks in your mind of what do you actually want. Once you have a clear vision that is aligned, keyword aligned, then you proceed to set goals and targets that are relevant to the vision. Example of goals, 100K profit per month by X date, 100K day in business. Sell your business for X amount by X date, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube by X date, right? Then you can have goals with urgency and timelines to move towards them. But again, if you don't have a clear vision, it's like you could do all, it's like this, right? You get in your car and you're driving a Ferrari full speed down the highway, yeah? But you're going the wrong way. You're like, I want it to go that way though. That is the overall way I would break this down for you. You could be going full speed, pushing and grinding, but if your mind is set, if you've put into your mind a goal or an image that is not what you truly want, you're going to move towards that. Where focus goes, energy flows, right? These goals will be in alignment with the vision that you have. So again, I speak to countless entrepreneurs who set goals and they don't even know why they set them. They have no drive or reason why to move towards it. They built a business to create a life of freedom, but instead they built another prison. if the vision or goal is unclear, you will experience cognitive dissonance, which is the mental discomfort that results from holding two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. Alignment is the key to stepping into flow state and peak performance. Also, by having a clear vision with clear goals, it gives you clarity on what to say no to and ultimately giving you focus. So here's the key points from this part of the training here. Imagination is the real workshop. Tesla didn't build things and then refine them. He built them completely in his mind first. Physical creation was just printing what was already existing internally. Your vision works the same way. Vision first, goal second. Most entrepreneurs set goals before they have vision. This is backwards. The goal must serve the vision, not the other way around. Okay? Your vision is already playing out. You have a vision whether you choose it or not. The question is whether it's one you consciously created or one unconsciously accepted. Proof that it works. Biggest earning day. Road trip through the USA with my dad. 1 hour of work. This wasn't luck. It was a vision written down years earlier, now lived as a reality. The goal must match the vision. A client wanted to buy penthouse and a G-Wagon, better set a goal that made the life impossible. Always reverse engineer the goal from the vision, never the other way around. Misalignment creates paralysis. Unclear vision plus mismatched goals creates cognitive dissonance. Entrepreneurs end up with no drive because they don't know what they're chasing or why they're chasing it. They built a business of freedom and built another prison instead. This is going to give you so many epiphany moments, guys. I know so many of you are watching this right now going, oh my God, this is why. This is why I've been watching all the content, consuming all of the tactics, applying them, trying everything out, but still, I'm not getting the results I want. Or still, I'm not feeling the way I want to feel. It's a vision, my bro, my sister. You have just constructed it in your mind first. Now it's playing out in your reality. It's that simple. It's that simple. You have built this life for yourself. And this is where, again, you have to take responsibility. It's not just coincidence. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing is coincidence. So if you're not living the life you want, you constructed it in your mind first. The thoughts created feelings, the feelings created actions, the actions have driven the result. And now you have the result and you're like, this is random. No, it's not. It's not random. You created it. So, as we continue, we're about to get into some more value right now, yeah? Your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. People worry. Let me zoom this in. How do I zoom this in? Here we go. People worry and operate from fear, limiting themselves because they don't know how to get the vision and goals that they have. Right? When you put power and energy into something outside of your control, you will feel powerless, believe it or not, and begin to overthink and worry and operate from fear. When you give power to something you can't control, like outcomes, money, timing, other people in the future, your nervous system reads that as a threat because it knows, like, we can't control this. The brain's job is to predict and protect. So the moment it can't see a clear cause and effect path, it shifts from the prefrontal cortex, which is clarity, planning, creativity, into the amygdala, which is fear and survival. When why is that there? Must have made a typo. Yeah, when your goal is placed on what you can control, identity, intention, daily action, the system relaxes and performance increases. This is why, again, we're going to get into this in the next chapter, all about identity, right? And the person you need to be. But when you step into this, right, and you focus on the process and you let go of the outcome, you will be so much more relaxed, so much more peaceful. And here's what I'm getting at as well, right? This is why when you have the vision, when you see it in your mind first, you don't need to know how you're going to get there. You will be guided. Your mind is a goal-seeking mechanism. Okay? So you have to let go of the outcomes and focus on what you want from the end state and who you would be in that reality. This is such a big lesson that people find it very hard to understand, right? But once you have impressed into your mind the end experience already playing out, and you step into that feeling and that emotion of that reality playing out, yeah? When you're in that, let me ask you, right? Do you seem to move in a different way? Do you seem to be in more of a flow? Do you seem to attract different opportunities to you? An analogy I'll give you is this, right? Or an example I could give you. When you first started off in business, or when you set a new milestone or a new goal you was moving towards, was you moving differently? 100%. So what changes is you stop focusing on what you want because things pop up, right? Things get hard, challenges come your way, you start to feel resistance, ultimately linking pain to the goal, and you move away from it. So you have to learn to let go of the goal. But again, it's very easy to say, I'll just let go of it. That's why the more you visualize, the more you experience a vision in your mind, the more your mind is going to gravitate towards that. In Psycho-Cybernetics, which is one of my favorite books, they discovered that the human mind works like a servo mechanism, a built-in guidance system created by God to help you move towards whatever image or target you hold in your subconscious mind. This is why when you set a vision, think big. Do not have any limits because your mind will find its way there. On the condition, it is truly aligned with what you truly want in your heart. There's such a big lesson as well. So when you set a target in your mind, it quite literally will go after it. But this is what I'm saying to you guys. Most people do not have a clear vision, or they have a goal, but subconsciously they're focusing on what they do not want. Subconsciously, they're going to be resisting something. So for example, I remember one of my clients who went from 25k a month to 100k a month. One of the things that was holding him back was the fear of failing. Why? Because if he failed, his parents would have been right, that he wasn't successful, that he didn't achieve his goal, that he shouldn't have dropped out of university. So although he wanted to move towards a goal, there was a stronger emotional charge about failure in his subconscious mind. Now, what happens if your parents, quote unquote, reject you? It's pain. It's deep pain. So you're going to avoid moving towards it. As simple as that. You will avoid moving towards the goal. This is why you have to align a vision that creates a pleasurable feeling within you, something that evokes strong emotions within you, so you want to move towards it and you alleviate the pain of moving towards it and you link more pain to staying where you are. Cybernetic comes from the Greek word kybernetics, or kybernets, however you say that, right? Meaning steersman or navigator. Think of your mind like a missile or autopilot system. You were never designed to drift, you were designed to create. What I found on my journey of coaching thousands is that if your what, who or why, which are going to be the next modules in this course, is not clear to you, then you will experience resistance and you will not be able to enter into flow and your higher self. Or you will take actions and head in the wrong direction just by taking the time to get clarity on what you want will save you time, money, and energy. Abraham Lincoln said, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe, right? So essentially what it comes down to is spending time to actually think about what it is you want. What do you want? And again, in the next module, I'm going to go over this more in detail about the identity aspect, but you are going to build something. The question is, what do you want to build? And again, just look at your current reality. Is it not playing out in direct correlation to what you previously thought about? Okay then. And if we understand that we can literally create a vision, write down a vision, and impress that into our mind, why would we not just take the time to do that? It makes complete sense, right? When you define exactly what you want your business to look like, you activate one of the most powerful mechanisms in the mind focus. A plane set with a destination before it takes off. Once that direction is locked in, it doesn't fly in a perfectly straight line. Wind, turbulence, and external forces constantly push it off course. The autopilot doesn't panic or overcorrect. It simply makes tiny automatic adjustments to keep the plane aligned with the original direction. The pilot isn't forcing the plane every second. The system corrects itself because the destination is already set. This is what I'm saying to you guys. Where is your destination set right now? That's what you need to ask yourself. Where is your destination set? Is it set to what you truly want? Are you truly seeing in your mind what you're trying to build? Because you're going to move towards that. You're going to get that. Take the time to create the vision in your mind and see that play out, and your subconscious mind will guide you towards that goal. And this aligns as well with how you would be thinking, feeling, and acting. The person you would be. It's not just about, again, you can tell your mind, yeah, we're going to build $1 million a month business. But if you get there and you are still feeling sad, miserable, unfulfilled, unworthy, did you really win? Did you really win? I don't think so. Your mind works the same way. When your direction is clear, your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin to self-correct. You don't need to micromanage every decision. When something pulls you off course, the system naturally adjusts you back towards where you're going. This is it. Is your vision clear? You set a target, which is a clear mental image. Your subconscious acts like a servo mechanism, constantly adjusting thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to move you towards that target. And when you drift off course, your nervous system, your subconscious mind, and intuition send feedback, signals of discomfort, tension, or desire that push you to correct your direction. So like even when I was making this program today, right, as I started to work on it, I was getting a lot of resistance in the beginning. And I leant into it, I was like, why am I getting that? Because there was a lot of information inside that didn't need to be inside. So my subconscious was literally guiding me, telling me this is not the path, recorrect now. And there we go. This is how your mind naturally self-corrects and realigns with whatever goal you've programmed into it, right? Your success mechanism is built for you by your creator, God. It's activated by a goal and steered by imagination, yeah? This is why you must stay aware and reflect to observe where you're being guided to. Your mind wants you to achieve your vision in the most effortless way possible, so it will guide you. But again, so many people, so many entrepreneurs that I speak to, they are moving towards a goal that they don't actually want, or it's not where they should be going. It's as simple as taking a step back, having a vision, and putting your energy on it. How many of you have done this, right? You've created a vision, you've had a goal, and you've achieved it, but it was like, could have got more. Could have asked for more. And that's what I'm saying to you right now. You can be winning, right? But you could be winning more. And this is why I say to these entrepreneurs, right? It's like you're tapping into 10% of your power by not using your subconscious mind. And if I said to you, would you rather use 10% of your power or 90%? You would tell me 90% all the time. So why aren't you using it? Because you don't know how. That's why you need to sign up to the free masterclass. Click the link in the top description. Now, the key truth is this, right? The mind doesn't care whether the goal is positive or negative. It just goes after what's programmed. It doesn't even understand the difference between what's positive or negative. This is why it's critical to have clarity of what you want in vivid detail so your mind can move towards that. If your goal is focused on an outcome, I always mess things up, the mechanism will find ways to confirm that. If your goal is, I'm building a thriving business, it will filter ideas, people, and opportunities to make that real. It's just, where is your energy focused? What is your subconscious mind programmed on? If you believe making money is hard, that will be true. If you believe business needs to be a struggle, that will be true. If you believe that X amount of money is a lot of money, then you will resist moving towards it if you think that a lot of money isn't for you. That's why you have to construct in your mind these images of what is for you and what you want to move towards, and then you will go towards that. Yeah? Your mind is wired to protect consistency, not happiness. It does not care about your goals. It cares about safety and survival. We're going to talk about this more in the next module as well. But beliefs in themselves are not true. They become true in our experience if we believe them. Your brain's reticular activating system, like we mentioned above, the servo mechanism, works hand in hand with this mechanism, filtering billions of bits of data every second and only showing you what matches the dominant thoughts of the self-image. We're going to get into the self-image in the next one, but again, the vision as well. Whatever you've programmed into your mind is going to look for that and be like, is this in alignment with where we want to go, yes or no? Again, if you, for example, let's say you're linking pain to money, yeah? People do this. You're like, how would someone link pain to money? Because of past experiences and memories. Let's say they've been growing up and money was hard. Then they think that money's painful. So if I make more money, I'm going to feel pain, whatever it might be. They won't move towards it, right? You have to realize that the construct of the images you hold in your mind is going to play out in your reality. Doesn't care about what you want, it cares about safety. So if money is linked and associated with pain, you won't move towards it. If growing your business to $1 million a month is linked to stress and whatever else in between, you're either going to avoid moving towards it or do it in a way of stress and pain. When you can just decide, I'm going to do it with ease, I'm going to do it with flow, I'm going to do it with joy. It's a decision. So if your inner picture is small, the mechanism plays small. If your inner picture is expansive, it opens your awareness to possibilities that match it. Okay? Now let's jump onto this aspect here, the formula, imagination and faith in action. Maltz taught that the mind doesn't respond to willpower alone. Here's a huge lesson for you guys, yeah? It responds to imagination impressed with faith and emotion. Yeah? This is why so many people try to change, but what they doing? Forcing it, pushing it, operating from willpower. This is what I done for years, yeah? And I achieved results, you know? I was successful. But it was burnout. It was like pushing and grinding and forcing and taking up, but it was going against my subconscious mind. What my subconscious mind was imagining failure. It was imagining limited things. So although I would push, I would tap into limited potential. When I started to remove these blocks, then I was able to ascend up a lot faster, a lot easier, and get better results. You see that? And the thing is as well, guys, once you can conceive it in your mind, then you won't see it as this crazy thing. You just see it as normal. And I promise you, like, things will happen in a way you couldn't even predict for you to get to the goal. It will just happen in a way that you couldn't predict because you were aligned with it. So the mechanism activates when three elements are combined. Yeah? Imagination, clear image of what you want. Faith, emotional belief that it's possible and already unfolding. Again, the way I teach this to my clients is using the mind system through visualization and other techniques there. Right, we're going to get into this on the free masterclass, so make sure you sign up for that. And lastly, of course, is action. But you need to understand that the beginning is imagination, right? From imagination, you then visualize it, you see it as if it's already done. You have that faith, which is belief in the unseen. You have the faith, then you act towards it. And because you're seeing what you want, you're going to move towards it. Think about it. You're either operating from faith or fear. Which one are you going to choose, right? But it's done in the imagination. Because I can tell you right now, just imagine good things. Like positive thinking doesn't really work. You have to reprogram the subconscious mind. When those three align, the subconscious begins to automate success. Imagination, faith, and action. All right? To break this down deeper, it will shift your beliefs, your emotions, and your habits, which are all stored in your subconscious mind. You just see how much value we're dropping today, guys, yeah? This is one of the most important things I can share with you today, right? And big up you if you're still here an hour in. This proves you want to win. So if you want to win more, join the free masterclass. But conscious mind is 10% of how we operate. This is willpower, short-term memory, logical thinking, right? This is why entrepreneurs are not reaching their full potential, because they only think logically. They only think with willpower, or take action with willpower. When your subconscious mind is where your beliefs are. Your beliefs will drive your behavior. Your emotions are. Your emotions are going to drive which action you take and what you avoid moving towards and things like that. And your habits literally are automated behaviors that you take, and this is what we call the mind system. It's a loop, right? Beliefs feed into emotions, emotions bleed into habits, and then they feed into beliefs and they feed into the emotions. It's like a flywheel. So if you do not know how to reprogram your subconscious mind, I will just ask you, how much money are you leaving on the table in your business? How much potential are you not tapping into? Every single entrepreneur watching this here, if you do not have a plan to reprogram your subconscious mind, I don't know what to say. You are leaving more money on the table than you even are aware of. It's your choice what you want to do with it. If you want to change that, join the free masterclass. The link is in the description. Now, once you start aligning with this, you will start noticing coincidences, intuition, timing, and flow. Not because it's magic, but because your internal guidance system is locked into the new target. Again, so many entrepreneurs I speak to, I ask them this, I'm like, do you ever have it where things are just flowing? Things are just effortless. You're just attracting opportunities, you're stepping into more. Like, yeah, I do that. Well, what happened? You was consciously thinking about it, so you've done it. But you're only tapping into 10%. The goal is to make this subconscious. That's what you want to step into. Making it subconscious. There is a way, there is a formula, there is a simple process to follow to do this. So, I want to touch on this as well, right? Success mechanisms versus failure mechanisms, right? Either one is going to play out to be true. Yeah, they're both autopilots. Failure mechanism is fear, self-doubt, negative images, whatever. We can just keep it simple and say fear. Where we have two core emotions. We have fear and we have love. Success mechanism is a clear goal, faith, Positive expectation. And think about this, yeah? It's just a choice you make. That's it. It's just a choice that you make. And once you learn how to really impress it into your subconscious mind, you will be shocked by the way you perform, by the opportunities you attract to yourself, by the way you just think bigger, everything in between. Both are autopilots. Both are decisions you are making just with your subconscious mind. The question is, what have you programmed into your subconscious mind? This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't just about, oh, think positive thoughts and you attract positive. This is about programming the part of your mind which is quite literally governing your entire reality. It's logical, right? Just logically think about that. If we agree that the subconscious mind controls our reality and our beliefs, emotions, and habits are there, and we're not programming it, are we going to reach our full potential or not? No. So what's your plan to program the subconscious mind? Oh, you don't have one. There we go. So, how to activate your goal-seeking mechanism. When it comes to creating your vision, this is more value, more value. You have to do it from an elevated state of emotion. You want to feel your way into that reality vividly, see it playing out, experience it in your body, and let the images come to you. God has already given you a vision. Your job is to uncover that and align with that. I always say as well, what you seek is seeking you. There we go. And it's seeking you more than you're seeking it, right? You must use your imagination from the reality as if it's already done. It already knows what's for you. You don't want to think of a vision, you want to think from a vision. Let me repeat that. You don't want to think of a vision. You don't want to think, what do I want? You want to think from the vision and then put pen to paper. Yeah? This is how I was able to create my dream life. Most people, they go like this, yeah, they go, what do I want? Okay, I want this goal and I want this and I want this and I want this. Again, they're thinking limited. Your imagination is so much more powerful than your logical, analytical thinking mind. Your imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. But are you in alignment with your imagination? Are you seeing it? Over the past 3 years, I've been traveling the world, flying business class everywhere, staying in luxury places, making months in my business where we done exceptionally well. Same with our days in business. Traveling the world full time, freely on my own schedule. And the reason I was able to do that is because I visualized it. I saw it in my mind first. Most people, what do they do when they travel the world? They have a budget, they think scarce, they go stay in shitty places, they can't spend money additionally. But because I visualized a certain life, that played out. And I swear to you, it's that simple. That was the only difference between myself and somebody else. I just saw it in my mind. Like, I can't begin to tell you how much I would obsess about visualizing the reality I wanted. And then it became true. It became true because I saw that in my mind. The question is, what have you been seeing in your mind? Do not think of the vision, like I said, think from the vision. And when using your imagination, here's a big one, don't make it work, let it work. Another reason I see people can't use their mind correctly is because they're trying to force it. They're thinking, you have to relax into it. Again, this is why one of the biggest things I work with my clients on is meditation and visualization, using the mind system. If you want to know more about that, sign up for the free training. All right. Decide the target, picture it daily, feed it proof, big one. Stay faithful and detach from time. Clarity does not come from overthinking, it comes from alignment. You're never going to solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created the problem. You don't create vision from ego, you receive it from God through stillness and faith, and then you surrender to it and align with it. Right? There is no vision, the people perish. Right? So, you have to realize that your vision, it's not random. Like this thing that you have in your mind that you're imagining, God wants you to have that, yeah? As long as it's aligned with your heart and you know it's for you, God wants you to have that. So if you think about that, if He's given you this vision, why would He stop you from having it? Why would He block you from having it? He's not. You are. Because you're getting in your own way with your beliefs and your analytical mind and your conscious thinking, which is basically impressing the subconscious all the time. And then it becomes a program, and then you never rewrite the program. But you have to renew your mind. You have to renew your mind constantly and start to impress into it the truth, the things that is for you. Okay? So, what else do we have here? Unless the Lord builds a house, those who build will labor in vain. This is why I'm very big on this. When you create your vision, it's not something you're going to think about. It's something that's already given to you. And you're just going to strengthen that vision through visualization and seeing it play out in your mind. Okay? When you move with God's vision, clarity becomes direction, and direction becomes destiny. The more you align with this vision that's for you, and you all have one, I know because I've spoken to thousands of entrepreneurs, when you align with that and you start to see that play out in your mind, you will simply be guided to the goal. Alright? Now, let's talk more about faith, imagination, and the subconscious. Your imagination is the womb of creation. Think about that, yeah? That's the womb of creation. Think of it like a bed of soil. That's where the seeds are planted. Every vision begins in the unseen, formed first in thought and emotion, then mirrored into matter. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. I believe that what we see in our imagination is a preview of what's to come. And Albert Einstein said this, imagination is everything. Albert Einstein said imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What you repeatedly visualize with emotion, your subconscious mind accepts as truth. This is how it works. You have to just think of it like I said. If you go and plant a seed in the ground, yeah, let's say for some roses, the soil does not care and go, nah, we don't want roses. Even if you say, I don't want to grow the rose, it will grow. It's like you are choosing what you're planting in the soil. It doesn't argue. It doesn't fight back. The rose will grow. The same as with your mind. Whatever you tell your subconscious with emotion and repetition, it will begin to accept and play out as true. Whatever you tell it, it will begin to accept and play out as true. This is why vision is the first step, because you have to see what it is that you want. You have to plant that seed. Most people don't have a vision. They are subconsciously focused on what they do not want. And even if they do have a vision, they are planting the seed in the ground and then they're digging it up because they have doubts. They're not using their imagination to nourish the seed they've planted. They're not using faith to nourish the seed they have planted. Yeah? Once accepted, it reorganizes your beliefs, emotions, and habits to make that truth real. This is where the magic happens. Again, beliefs, emotions, and habits are where? In the subconscious, right? So when you begin to visualize and see yourself as a certain type of person, you see yourself living a certain lifestyle, you will move towards that at a subconscious way because it's being impressed. And once it's impressed, it will be expressed. Your reality is a mirror of your internal world. Your internal world is your subconscious. Your subconscious is a collection, like we said, of your beliefs, emotions, and habits. So you have to think about these things, play them out in your mind, and watch as the reality starts to conform to your internal world. Like we were saying, the subconscious versus the subconscious here. So we're going to break this down. This is from Bob Proctor, right? As you go through life, yeah, your conscious mind is going to have inputs. So it's going to hear certain things, see certain things, whatever else, right? Taste, touch, smell. Once this is impressed, it will accept the idea and then impress it into the subconscious, right? And then this will program your body, your subconscious, your nervous system, and that is what's going to take action. That's where the doing happens from. So again, think about this, yeah? You have a lot of beliefs instilled into you, but where did you learn that belief? Who gave you that belief? Who told you to believe in that thing? And then that belief gets impressed into the subconscious as a feeling, and that feeling drives actions. Right? So if you are not taking control of your subconscious mind, you are programmed, and it's going to keep operating from that program, creating certain results and whatever else in between. And again, that's what I'm saying to you guys. I don't care if you're making $1 million a month, you could be doing 10 with the same inputs, just by changing the subconscious mind. Yeah? The vision operates on energy. Energy directs thoughts. Thoughts shapes emotions. Emotions creates vibration. Vibration establishes frequency, and frequency determines reality. Energy is the power. Thought is the direction of that. Right? Emotion is the charge. Vibration is the movement. Frequency is the state you operate from, and the result occurs. Your vision is the frequency you tune into daily. So it's like, well, how much are you intentionally tuning into that frequency? Just answer that, and you'll know why you're not getting the results, or why you are getting the results you want. When your internal world matches the external reality you desire, manifestation becomes effortless. Internal creates the external. Simple as that. Well, if the internal creates the external, I better get clear on the internal and what it is I'm building and what I want. You don't force results, you align with them. Or you can force results, but they're going to be limited and you're going to be struggling towards your goal. I'm not doing that. I want to actually have a life. I don't want to be constantly burning and burning out and struggling in life. Why? Why do I want that? You know? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world but lose his soul? Mark 8:36. Yeah? On the pen right here. So your job is to keep your internal state congruent with your desired outcome, and that's why working with the subconscious mind is the most effective ways to do this. Simple as that. This is the number one thing I work with my clients on, using the mind system. We program into their mind the way they want to think, feel, and act, and then it plays out in their reality. Change your vision, you change your vibration. Change your vibration, you change your reality. If your vision doesn't move you emotionally, it will not move you physically. So, we've covered a lot. Right, and this is going to pretty much repeat on that, but I'm going to say it just to summarize it. All right, the subconscious mind is the architect of your reality. It builds based on the blueprints you feed it. When you visualize your desired outcome with clarity and emotional conviction, you install new programs. When you pair that with repetition and action, these programs become automatic. Vision, belief, action, identity, reality. Right? Each reinforces the next until outer world mirrors the inner picture you've accepted as true. This is why writing your vision down and impressing it into the subconscious is so powerful. It bridges imagination and physical reality. You're telling your subconscious, this is the world we are living in. Now, let me just share this with you real quick as well, right? This here, all right, is how we do this. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into this right now, but this is the mind system, and this is how you do it. You have to rewire your old patterns and beliefs, right? Here's the thing, yeah. Another reason people can't move into their new reality is because they're attached to that old reality. Well, if you have an old reality you're holding on to, if you're not aware of what is in the way, how can you let go of it? So you have to become aware of what it is. You have to let go of the old and then create the new. So you create new beliefs, you create new emotions, new habits. Then you install this using the meditations. So there's a specific way to do this as well, right? Calm the mind and the body, relax it, then raise your emotional state and then visualize it. Then you take aligned action, you get feedback, and you commit until it becomes you. That's it. That's the mind system. Now, again, there is so much value I'm going to be sharing with you guys throughout these trainings. And next one I'm going to be dropping this week is going to be the who. And as you can see, this is more valuable than what we've just been through today. So if you want to get ready for that, subscribe to this channel, lock in, because this video here is going to absolutely transform your life more than the last one. And other than that, hit the link in the description or the comments and sign up for the free masterclass I'm going to be hosting, where I'm going to absolutely transform your life and your business forever. All right? Other than that, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.